So today's first disease of the spiritual heart is something that if you have, there is no way from an Islamic point of view that you're going to enter heaven. And it's very important because it's one of the first sins known to humanity. And it's a disease that just eats you from the inside without you consciously knowing that. And that is pride, or arrogance actually. Arrogance is the right word. In Arabic it's Kibr. لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. The Prophet ﷺ said that you will not smell or enter paradise, you will not even come close to those gates of heaven if you have an atom's weight in your heart of arrogance. So what is arrogance? Arrogance is, like, if you want to define it, بطر الحق وغمط الناس. So بطر الحق is not accepting the truth when it's clearly in front of you. Someone is telling you this happened, blah, 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 and you reject it just because you have a grudge against that person, or you think you're better than that person one way or the other, or who is he or she to tell me that this and that. A lot of me coming in between you and the truth that prevents you to moving on. That's one type. And the other type is putting down others. بطر الحق وغمط الناس, which is not accepting the truth and putting down people. And that is crazy. Putting down people has absolutely makes no sense. Because, and the reasons like the people do this, the worst one of them is out of knowledge. If you're increasing in knowledge, and you're learning, sometimes people with knowledge start, many of the times actually, they start becoming arrogant. And they put others down. What do you know? I studied, I did this. And actually, the more you study, the more you know that you don't know anything. And the more you go in depth into a subject, you understand that it's unlimited amounts of knowledge, and it should humble you. The problem is that when it has the reverse effect on you, that you put down others just because you became more knowledgeable. What are you? And we find this a lot in like university professors in some places of the world, that they put down everyone, and you're nothing, you don't know anything, I know everything, you're nothing. And that kind of arrogance is horrible, because the knowledge that you're gaining in is not benefiting you in any way. It's making you a worse person. And again, as I told you before, if Islam is not making you a better person, then you're doing something wrong. The problem is not Islam, it's that in your understanding of Islam. The same thing with worship. That's one of the most dangerous types of arrogance. We see a lot of brothers and sisters, when they start becoming more religious, they start looking down on people. And that's crazy. It's crazy. The concept itself, you think you're better because for some reason at this stage of this life you think you're saved, while others are still like, oh, misguided and whatever not, which is a big problem. Because if you start getting closer to God, you should be thankful that God chose you out of everybody in the world for worship. And chose you out of everybody in the world. You could be that other person that is struggling. God put you in that and guided you one way or the other. If that's the case, you should feel that you're special. You should feel that God gave you something. You shouldn't be angry at others who are not practicing. You shouldn't look down at others who are not practicing. You have something beautiful, and you should wish that others would also have it. But there shouldn't be any anger in your heart or looking down upon people. If you have that kind of thought inside, like going in and you look down on people, then there's something wrong with your understanding of Islam again, and you're doing it wrong. So another type of arrogance is the one that comes of wealth. Okay, you became rich, or you've accumulated something, you have a lot of it and others didn't. That doesn't make you anything special. Okay, you have something, okay, you have a special position in this world here or there, but if it doesn't mean that if someone has less money that they're any worse. Okay, they can't buy material stuff, but at the end of the day, what counts is what's on the inside. I'm not just saying this as like pep talk, but that's the reality. The same thing is, another reason people get like arrogant is beauty. If you're tested or blessed, it depends on how you look at it, with beauty, and God gave you that kind of beauty, understand that this is a responsibility one way or the other. It doesn't mean because you'll get a lot of looks, a lot of people attracted to you, a lot of people who would want to come closer to you while others don't. And it doesn't make the others any less. You're not any better. You need to understand this. You have no control over that. This was just something that was given to you. It doesn't make you any better. So The same thing is with success. If you're tested or you're blessed with success, we often attribute that to ourselves. Well, one little brain cell going wrong and you can lose everything in life. Don't look down upon people. You need to understand that if you want to become a better Muslim. And if this doesn't hit you inside, then you cannot progress in Islam that much. Prophet told us this in a very, very concise thing. لا فضل على أعرابي لا فضل لأعرابي على أعجمي ولا أعجمي على أعرابي ولا أحمر ولا أسود ولا أسود ولا أحمر إلا بالتقوى إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. There is no, like, if you're going to compare, an Arab is not better than a non-Arab, and a non-Arab is not better than an Arab, and a red or an Indian is not better than a black person, and a black person is not better than I don't know what. That's what the Prophet ﷺ was saying. Except with one thing. There is only one measure. Taqwa. Okay? Knowing, being conscious of God, and on the inside, working on yourself. The best of you are the ones who are the best on the inside. This is the only measure in Islam. Being good on the inside. And having good thoughts, wishing for others what you want for yourself, having good manners, good character, not lying, not cheating, This is Islam. It's nothing else. I don't know if you're taught anything else. You need to understand that this is the foundation of everything. Kill that arrogance inside you. And there's a difference, again, as I said, pride is that you can be proud of your lineage. But it doesn't mean just because you were born in a certain family, in a certain status, in a certain place, still doesn't make you a better person. You have no control over it. You could have been born on the other side of the fence somewhere. If you imagine Umar ibn al-Khattab, I don't know if you know that, one of the friends of the Prophet, ﷺ, he was once giving in a khutbah, a sermon, and he's standing in front of everyone and he said something wrong. And a lady stood up. Imagine if this is happening right now to an imam in one of the mosques, what would happen? And the lady said, you said 1, 2, 3, but it's actually not correct. It's something else, it's so and so. If this happens in today's mosque, like an imam was like, how dare you talk to me in front of this, or why would you ever say this and this? Umar al-Khattab didn't do any of this. He's like, Akhta Umar, and like Umar made a mistake and the lady is right, and he moved on. He didn't say, but the way she said that was so offensive, or he didn't really focus, she could have said it in a better way, or who is she to talk to me like that? We really get offended these days when anyone corrects us with anything. You should always forget the messenger and look at the message. God is sending you a message one way or the other through someone. Don't get offended when someone tells you, okay, it's not easy. What I'm saying is not easy because we all get offended and everyone in the world gets offended easily these days. But always focus on the message and always have that compass inside you that is looking for the truth and looking for the right thing to do. Don't focus on, her tone could have been a little bit better, or he should have taken me in private. Yes, if you want to give advice, you should do it in private. But khalas, what happened, move on. Put that pride, learn to put that pride somewhere in the fridge or something and kill it and leave it back home. These are just some of the symptoms, like when you get offended. But also, one thing I used to do is that we used to volunteer for like helping refugees and blah, blah, blah. And when we sit down in the room, I'd say something. And I said, like, this is my opinion, I think we should do so and so. And then the group votes and they vote against me. And I really got offended. Like, guys, I'm telling you, I know my stuff. We should go this way. And everybody's saying, no, we should go that way. And I was like, please, I know. And then one guy took me on the side. He's like, Aitam, you have pure intentions. You have good intentions. And I know you mean well. Even if we mess up and you were right, and at the end of the day, you got your reward anyways. You had pure intentions, you gave us sincere advice, and you said, let's go this way, and the groups decided to go that way. It's not that big of a deal, even if we mess up. At the end of the day, you had good intentions, and you got the reward. So why are you mad? Take a chill pill. That's what he used to tell me. And anyways, so what is the cure? How do we work on this? The cure of arrogance is that you remember death. Remember that all the arrogant people that lived didn't make it anyways. At the end of the day, 100 years later, they were dirt. They went back to just nothing. And everything they were fighting for and everything they were taking pride in, and that whatever it is, the mansions they had, the cars they had, the servants they had, the wealth, the unbelievable amount of gold and this and that and positions and power, all these kings are dead. They're nothing. So just understand that there's always someone that is going to be more powerful than you, richer than you, wealthier than you, stronger than you, healthier than you. So take it easy. And yes, it's good to have self-confidence. I'm not saying that this should shatter your self-confidence in any way, but don't think you're better than others because God gifted you with something that someone else doesn't have. Be thankful for it. Be humble. The Prophet ﷺ said, hadith Qudsi, like something that God said, that man tawada li hakada, and he put his hands down. Whoever was humble for me and put their pride down, and kept putting his hands down until he reached the ground, rafa'tuhu hakada, and I elevated like him. So whoever really put their pride down all the way to the ground and learn how to control that and stay humble, God would elevate their status. So it's the complete opposite actually. If you want a really good status and you want to be elevated in status in Islam and in the Islamic way of thinking, God tells you, stay humble, I'll make you proud. I'll give you success. So the root cause of being successful and having a good status is being humble. I hope you benefit from this, and inshallah I'll see you soon. Salam.